I'm gonna try this.
Record.
Okay. Good to know. Okay. I wanted to do it, but I will do this. I'll leave that up then so I can see myself on the screen there. So, James.
I don't know, but I'll connect and we come in it.
Security little key. All right, announcements for today. No school on Monday, long weekend coming up, so we have our tests tomorrow. Obviously, we lost some classmates yesterday and stuff, so make sure you're checking email in the classroom if you're here or at home, okay? Doesn't matter on the situation, make sure you're checking those things. We'll try and keep everybody on track as best we can with email and classroom. That should hopefully work well. And obviously, I'll write video a little bit here and there to make sure that you're good. I'm going to videotape review today for people that are at home. So, okay, and then tomorrow is USA Day. So yeah, student council sign up for next Wednesday, and we are. Cool. We are reviewing for your tests today, and again, you can write down questions on Google Docs today, or you can grab a sheet of paper and write things down. Just some method of writing things down today, because if you write it down, the better you remember it. Plus, you can review it for later. So, all right, we're gonna play test review today. I don't know if you've ever played this before. Mr. Brett kind of like sort of invented it a little bit a couple years ago and stuff. We used to play it with my high schoolers who would go bonkers over it and stuff. So today we're playing period versus period. So period 2 racked up 6,550 points this morning. So we're gonna see if you guys can beat period 2 and all the other periods today and stuff. The review works like this. I have a rule on the board. If you draw, sorry, at the bottom, if you draw a wild +4, whatever your current score is, you can vote to double the score that you currently have. Okay, so you have 1,000 points, you can vote to double it to 2,000 if you get the question correct. If you don't get the question correct, you could lose 1,000 points. It's very risky part. Okay, draw 2, you'll draw two cards. I will take a combination of both, add them together. That's how much points you get for that particular question. Skip card, you can hear the question and then you can either skip it or you can go ahead and take a question for 250 points. Reverse card is worth 250 points. A wild card, say plain wild card, is worth 500 points. Whatever I'm drawing out of the stack, I basically take times 100. So if I draw a 1, it's 100 points. And if you draw the 0 card, your score goes back down to 0. Okay. It's a little bit of a game of risk and chance, plus a little bit of fun while we're doing this. So I need 3 volunteers today for these jobs. I need a scorekeeper, I need a class captain, and I need somebody to draw the cards. And it'd be nice if somebody that was drawing the cards was near the front, make it a little bit easier on us as well. So volunteers? All right, Selena, you were first. What do you want to do? Draw the cards, okay, fantastic. And Kayla, you were next. So you can be the class captain or you can keep score for me. So basically, you're going to your classmates are going to give you what they think the answer is. You'll be the speaker for it. It's like you'll give the final answer. Okay, sounds like right. Kayla's captain and Mara, scorekeeper. Fantastic. All right, sounds good. Okay, let's roll. Try to remember to give you the score page. Okay. All right, guys. So we have 4 stories that we're doing our test over. A lot of them are asking questions about either the story or they're asking about the terminology on the back wall. And then I will talk a little bit about your essays that'll be on the test tomorrow. We are going to do tests on Chromebooks tomorrow, make it a little more easy for your classmates at home. So if you see me weirdly talking to the camera, hello classmates at home, I'm just trying to remember to tell them things too so that I don't get too far ahead of myself. So, okay. All right, let's start it off. So you can't, by the way, you cannot hassle the card drawer. Okay, so if she runs 0, you can't hassle. That was always my rule. So. Gotta start with the big one. All right, 800 points, folks. You're gonna let Kayla know what you think the answer is. You can just say it out loud because you're all working as a team today. So let Kayla know what your answer is. She'll give you the final answers. All right, we're in landless water to start things off, guys. Here's the first question. I will repeat these a couple of times so you can write them down. The answers I'll breeze through quickly so you can just listen to the answers and then pick the correct one. All right, landless water. First question for you. At the beginning of the story, Mary Maloney is, go ahead and write these down, guys. This will be good for you to review later. At the beginning of the story, Mary Maloney is A, plotting to kill her husband. B, thinking about what to make for dinner. C, happily waiting for her husband. Or D, worried her husband has betrayed her. I'll repeat that again. At the beginning of the story, Mary Maloney is, you want to write the question down. Listen to the answers. A, plotting to kill her husband. B, thinking about what to make for dinner. C, happily waiting for her husband. Or D, worried her husband has betrayed her. Remember to write down the answer today, not the letter, since it's brought scribbles then. All right, let Kayla know what you're thinking, okay? Yeah. I was just waiting on you. So yeah, you guys are all a team today. So yep.
What's
He was worried her husband has betrayed. You don't need to write that one down. You can just write down that correct answer. Okay. Because I'm gonna read those today. So.
Okay.
Final answer.
Yes.
Correct. Very good. Happily waiting for her husband. Correct answer, guys. And again, you just need to write down the correct answer for each one. Make it easy. One more time. At the beginning of the story, Mary Maloney is correct answer. Happily waiting for her husband. Mara, that'll be 800 points. Oh, wow. Okay. Worked in second period. Must have decided to die between later. Strong start there, period 4. Okay, here we go. Next question. The fact that the lamb is frozen. Ooh, that'd be good. I do that a lot this morning. The fact that the lamb is frozen. 500 points for this one, guys. The fact that the lamb is frozen is important. The fact that the lamb is frozen is important. Because, here's your options. A, thawing it will take some time. B, it reflects the couple's icy relationship. C, eating improperly thawed meat can make a person ill. D, it could be used as a murder weapon. I'll read that again. The fact that the lamb is frozen is significant because A, thawing it will take time. B, it reflects the couple's icy relationship. C, eating improperly thawed meat can make a person ill. Or D, it could be used as a murder. Discuss and let Kayla know your final answer. He's correct, very good. Correct answer, it could be used as a murder weapon. Murder weapon. For 500 points on the board. Off to a good start. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, 300 points for next question. And here's your question, guys. Whom, W-H-O-M, whom do the police first suspect? First is emphasized, by the way. I'm glad that one too. Whom do the police first suspect when they arrive on the scene? Whom do the police first suspect when they arrive on the scene? Okay, here's your suspects, folks. Was it A, Mrs. Maloney? B, the husband's coworkers? C, an intruder? Or D, the grocer?
C.
Very diplomatic here. C, final answer? Yes, very good. Intruder is correct. Very good. Intruder. Bonus question. Not that you get points for it. What was the second suspect? The grocery guy is the second suspect. First, who do the police first suspect when they arrive on the scene? Correct answer, an intruder. Okay. Point ladder. Okay, another 300 points if you get this one correct. Okay, still on Lamb slaughter here, folks. Next one. Mary refuses to lie down. Mary refuses to lie down. Because A, she feels too nervous to relax. B, she needs to make dinner for the officers. C, she wants the officers to feel sorry for her. Or D, knows the officers are going to give her a hard time. I'll reread that. Again, question is Mary refuses to lie down because she A, feels too nervous to relax. B, needs to make dinner for the officers. C, wants the officers to feel sorry for her. Or D, knows the officers are going to give her a hard time. Discuss. C was wants the officers to feel sorry for her.
She was cooking food, right? She was trying to give herself an alibi. She was nervous. I think she was cooking. So
She got the officers.
she ended up being, she was cooking. Yeah. She was cooking.
With the options again, A, feels too nervous to relax. B, needs to make dinner for the officers. C, wants the officers to feel sorry for her. Or D, knows the officers are going to give her a hard time. Very divided.
Yeah, that's what she felt about.
After this, then before the officers
That
came
why
out,
she didn't like it. I think it's.
that's when she went and finished cooking.
She was like, oh, don't make me eat. That was later. That was actually, I thought that was later. She was like,
A was feels too nervous to relax.
I put you
I think it is nervous because you get nervous if then you lose it.
Oh,
I think it's new.
I know that, but she also does good, but I don't know why she did like that. Plus, didn't she not like actually?
There is something she did. No, it's Jayla.
I know her lunch discussion.
Even, I don't think it's the food that wants me not like that. Yeah, they're the ones who remind me of it's in the oven. Right? So it wants to be why, so it's definitely not that. She either she was nervous or C.
I would say.
She
had the fake crying.
Oh, she did do it. Not much. Okay, so we just say. At home, and then B, I'm certain. C.
Yeah.
Let's see. Very good. I would actually accepted answer A or C on that one. So yes, yeah. That was a two answer question. So, yeah. So C was, and I'll shuffle the questions around, just write down not the letter, but the actual answer. So once the answer, once the officers to feel sorry for her was one acceptable answer. And then feels too nervous to relax was the other. I actually thought A was a good answer, but I had last year we did the test and stuff. A lot of people argued for C. I thought C was actually an acceptable answer too. So feels too nervous to react to her first guess because she was dancing the whole time. So. But good arguments, persuaded me to do some last year too. Okay, Mara, that was 300. And and 500 potential points for the next one. All right, let's do one or two more for Lane the Slaughter, and then we're moving on here. Next question, since Mary Maloney's personality, we're still on Lane the Slaughter, so, yeah. Since Mary Maloney's personality changes throughout the story, since Mary Maloney's personality changes throughout the story, she could be labeled as, Mary Maloney's personality changes throughout the story, she could be labeled as.
Oh.
I'll give you the options just in case you want them, okay? Since Mary Maloney's personality changes throughout the story, she could be labeled as, and for our classmates at home too. A crazy person, B, an indirect character, C, a dynamic character, or D, a direct character. C for that one? Yep, dynamic character is correct, folks. Dynamic character. Remember, personality changes, emotion changes, even physical changes for that matter, could be seen as a dynamic character.
We know a lot about.
Yes, around means we know them internally and externally, we know everything about them. Yeah. Good question. All right. That was 500. Score check after this one. Ooh, they draw 2. Plus. Okay, 400 point question here, folks. I don't think we're doing that bad at all. So, period 2 got a wild card. That's why their score was really high because they ended up doubling halfway through the game and stuff. So, okay, last question for Lamb to the Slaughter. Sergeant Noonan, you can abbreviate if you want to, but S. Noonan. I'm not going to make you spell his name on the test here. Sergeant Noonan, one of the characters in the story, probably refuses to eat the lamb. Sergeant Noonan probably refuses to eat the lamb. At first. Sergeant Noonan probably refuses to eat the lamb at first. because he, A, works better on an empty stomach. B, thinks it's unprofessional to eat on duty. C, suspects the lamb has been used as a murder weapon. D, doesn't want to take time away from the investigation. I'll read that again. Sergeant Noonan proudly refuses to eat the lamb at first because he, A, works better on an empty stomach. B, thinks it's unprofessional to eat on duty. C, suspects the lamb has been used as a murder weapon. Or D, doesn't want to take time away from the investigation.
I don't think
Repeat. Did repeat? B was thinks it's unprofessional to eat on duty. D is doesn't want to take away time from the investigation.
Yeah.
I think the key word in the question, to help you out a little bit, is he probably refuses to eat the lamb at first. So what was his initial thought?
Yeah.
All right, B by Lanchfield? Good choice, very good. Yeah, thanks, unprofessional to eat on duty. I did not disagree with you guys thinking about D, but the first is the key word there in that question. So I think it's unprofessional to eat on duty. Okay, Mara, that was 400. Can we do a score check?
2,800 points.
Ooh, nice. Okay, we're off to Gift of the Magi here next. It's not a zero. Nope. You're good. 100 points for the next one. All right, Gift of the Magi, guys. We're switching categories here. Gift of the Magi. Question. Della wants a proper watch chain. Della wants a proper watch chain. Again, if you need anything repeated or Mrs. Butt needs to sit down, let me know. Okay. Try to do it verbally. So, Della wants a proper watch chain for Jim because his beautiful watch only has an old what? Della wants a proper watch chain for Jim because his beautiful watch only has an old. What are your options? A, leather strap. B, worn ribbon. C, faded band. Or D, broken buckle. Read that again. Della wants a proper watch chain for Jim because his beautiful watch only has an old A, leather strap. B, worn ribbon. C, faded band. Or D, broken buckle. A is correct. Very good. Leather strap, guys. Leather strap.
You like to know the questions on the test?
Yeah, these are questions right from the test. Yeah. I'm not pulling every single one today. At least 30%. So. Okay. Maybe slow down, repeat, anything? Yeah. Possible 600 points for this one, guys. Theme is the topic of our next question. A theme in this story, Gift of the Magi. You don't have to write that down, though. A theme in the story is that Jim and Della's love for each other. A theme in this story is that Jim and Della's love for each other is much more valuable than what? One more time. A theme in this story is that Jim and Della's love for each other is much more valuable than what? A material gift. B, an expensive dinner. C, a person's opinion. Or D, a convertible. Go with that, Kelly. Okay, yes. Material gift is correct. Very good. I was just looking for a laugh on the convertible comment. The theme of this story is that Jim and Della's love for each other is much more valuable than any correct answer material gift. Okay. $200. So far, so good. All right, let's go to this one. An example of situational irony. An example of situational irony from the story. Example of situational irony from the story. Is A, Della selling her hair? B, Della curling her hair? C, Jim watching Della open his gift after seeing her new haircut? Or D, Della's worry about Jim not loving her with short hair? One more time. An example of situational irony from the story is A, Della selling her hair? B, Della curling her hair? C, Jim watching Della open his gift after seeing her new haircut? D, Della's worry that Jim about Jim not loving her with short hair. All right, good choice, Caleb. Jim watching Della open his gift after seeing her new haircut. Jim watching Della open his gift after seeing her new haircut. Situational irony. Another 200 there, Mark. Okay. Reverse card is worth 250 points. See if we get this one. Questions. So I'm going to move to Lady or the Tiger next year, guys. Make sure I'm playing time for everything. Lady or the Tiger is next, guys. Here's my first question. In this justice system, the innocence or guilt of the suspects. In this justice system, the innocence or guilt of the suspect is A, judged by according to the evidence, B, left to chance, C, ruled on by a king, or D, decided by a contest. Options again. A, judged by according to the evidence, B, left to chance, C, ruled on by the king, or D, decided by a contest. Correct, very good. Left to chance is the correct answer. Left to chance.
That's really could have been murdered something.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was, yeah, part of that question was that, yeah, like, if you were innocent, like, still could have been something. All right. Next question for Lady and the Tiger, guys. Oops. Okay, 500. Next question. Which of the following characters is a round character? Which of the following characters is a round character? Options: A, the princess, B, the young man, C, the tiger, or D, the king. Princess, young man, tiger, king. But not tiger king. D. I finally took. Would you gonna pick it? The king.
Why?
It was the princess. The princess. And the reason it's the princess, guys, I agree. The king you do know some about. However, the fact that she's a round character because we know her inner thoughts and her external actions. Okay. So that's the big key for the princess there. So, okay. So we do lose 500 on that one. So, yeah. The correct answer, round character, is the princess. The princess. Okay. I think you're still doing pretty well points wise, guys. So still got some wilds in there too. All right, moving on to our next question. Okay. Okay, critical thinking question for this one, but it's multiple choice. If this court had a third door, if this court had a third door and the suspect opened it, if this court had a third door and the suspect opened it, the result would probably be this court had a third door and the suspect opened it. The result would probably be A, good, B, bad, C, neither good or bad, or D, result in immediate death.
So maybe just neutral, like you don't get the princess or the tiger.
It is, but if you kind of had to think of probability in the way his justice system is built, what do you think maybe that third door is?
Just lowers your chances. It's 33% chance of living. I think it's.
I feel like if you like work that isn't already, I don't know if the lady one is good or the one is good.
It could be good when well, if you already have a white.
That's the already thing. It can be canceled without security.
But to the king,
Another death or good or bad. Yeah.
I don't want to rush it, but we need to get some more questions so you have to make a decision here shortly.
The death right away is like the same as tiger. The one that was bad. We cannot lose. Oh my gosh. Can you read the options again, real fast?
I can't. I think you guys are maybe overthinking this a little bit, so maybe go back to basics here. If this court had a third door and the suspect opened it, the result would be A, good, B, bad, C, neither good nor bad, or D, resulting in death.
C, neither to go back. That's our initial answer. Let's just do that. C, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Because then it really would have probably been up to the opinion of the reader if it was gonna be good or bad, if we were in that third door in there. And the fact that he was semi-barbaric, as Lena brought up a good point, he was semi-barbaric, again, we kind of looked at good being that back there, so. The correct answer, neither good or bad. 900 points there, Mara. All right, whenever you get that total up, we'll work back there.
4,350.
Woo,
Let's get it done.
with 7 minutes to go. Okay. Ooh, with a draw too.
Okay, get it, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Ooh, and 6. Wow, all right.
1,000.
1,100 points if you get this one right, guys.
I don't know.
But you also may lose 1,100 points. if
Okay,
you
we have
get
to
it
get
wrong. So take your time. Okay. I'm into all summer in a day. I'm trying to squeeze a couple questions in here for you. All right, here's my question. What can the reader infer? Or infer means to make an assumption. What can the reader infer from the comment Margot's classmate William makes? What can the reader infer from the comment Margot's classmate William makes? And I'm going to read the quote here in just a second. All right, so what are we assuming when he says this? Quote, it's all a joke, wasn't it? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. All a joke, wasn't it? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. Okay. What are we inferring, or what are we assuming here? A, they don't believe the sun will come out. B, they think Margot made her poem up. C, they know they won't get in trouble if they lock her in the closet. D, they don't think they're going to be allowed to go outside. Is correct. Very good. Yes. 1,100. Good job, guys. They don't believe the sun will come out. And in fact, that holds true until it actually does come out. So, like, of course, they realize that. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, it's really 1,000. Right, Dave, so they don't believe the sun will come out. Okay. Okay, so leave your ways to skip. You can listen to the question, and then if you decide you don't want to answer that question, you're not penalized. Okay, so it's for 250 points. If you want it, great. If not, we'll skip it and move to the next one. So, okay. All right, here's your question. An example of a flat character from this story is. Go for it. Example of a flat character from the story.
Yeah.
Can't give you the options on skips, just the questions. Go ahead and go forward. Okay, right, sounds good. Okay, here are your answers and to pick from. An example of a flat character or characters from this story is A, William the Bully, B, Margot, C, the sun lamps, or D, Margot's parents. Read them again if you need me to. Read them again. Okay. A, William the Bully, B, Margot, C, the sun lamps, or D, Margot's parents.
But when they say more about William.
Well, his parents aren't, her parents are significant to the story. It's definitely.
We have like 2 minutes to do it.
Okay. And.
It's correct, very good. Yeah, William the Bully. So remember the difference between flat and static for tomorrow. Flat means that it's a character in the story that's not major, but they're still in it. So William, of course, is still an important character, but not a major character. Static is the ones that are mentioned, but they don't do anything. So like Margot's parents, no speaking parts. Some classmates would have qualified for that too, for static stuff. But flat character, William, the teacher, would have counted for that too. So. Okay, I think we can squeeze one more in here, guys. See if you can get that wild card to get one more chance. Okay, 600 points. Here we go. But again, see how you place and stuff. Okay, here we go. What could be another title for this story? What could be another title for this story? A rainy day. B, the storm of the century. C, the worst day ever. Or D, underground school. A rainy day. B, the storm of the century. C, the worst day ever. Or D, the underground school. And I would say take about 30 seconds to figure this one out so we have time here. A was rated.
Step not eight. Just do these. I'm joking.
Okay, let me help you out a little bit here as you're making a decision between the two. Think of the major themes that ran through the story.
Worst day.
Okay, should we do that?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Worst day ever. Worst day ever.
See?
Yeah, because it rains all the time. Worst day ever is our theme because of the anti-bull, because of bullying.
You're saying CJ.
Okay. Okay, before you guys go, listen up real quick, before you guys go, so your test will be multiple choice tomorrow. I will also have an essay question for you to do. It's just a paragraph tomorrow because some classmates are at home, we got a lot going on here and stuff. So make sure you look over your short story turns on Classroom, review your notes, you should be in good shape, okay? Let me know if you have questions before we test tomorrow.
I think you guys know. First day ever. That was